Hey, it's Matt with Midwest Guns and Gear, and I've got a interesting firearm for you today we're going to talk about. And I had to dig way back into the safe for this one that hasn't seen the light of day in a little while, but definitely one that worth talking about. You might recognize it. You might recognize the newer variants that are out, but without any further delay, the Mill Inc. Thunder 5. Now the Judges, everyone knows what the Judge is. I think Smith & Wesson makes a similar revolver now too, but this is the original. This was the first one that came out back in the 90s, possibly even the late 80s. You might have seen a few of these starting to come out. And at the time, this was just a crazy concept. It was a revolver that would shoot .410 and .45 Colt. It held 5 cartridges. Now with the .410 before, a short-barreled shotgun would fall under NFA restriction, but the people at Mill Inc. realized that if you rifled the barrel and chambered it for .45, it was perfectly legal. And it went through with the ATF, and the ATF, yeah, it's legal because it's not a smooth bore. So the Thunder 5 was born, and these were in several movies back in the day. I know Black Dog with Meatloaf. It was in there, as well as the movie Three Kings. I think Mark Wahlberg has one of these in Three Kings. And these have some interesting concepts on them. For one, there's a safety. You don't see a safety too often on a revolver, but this has a safety on it. It can shoot .45 Colt and .410, but they made another variant of this to be able to sell in California because, California has to have the crazy firearms laws. So they made one in .45-70 government, which I have not seen one of those. I've not shot one of those, and I think I might be a little scared to shoot a .45-70 with a 2-inch barrel. If this is even a 2-inch barrel, it may be shorter than that. It's got to have some massive recoil. Now, to make it more versatile, they also had a cartridge inserts you could put in. So what you would do is there was 9mm, 38, 357, and I think 38 Super, which were cartridge inserts you could put in the cylinder, and then you could put like a 357 Magnum cartridge in there and shoot it. But this is a .45 barrel, so if you're shooting a 357 out of a .45 barrel, your accuracy is not going to be there. And granted, it's a 2-inch barrel, so there's not much in the way of accuracy to begin with. But with .45 Colts, these really aren't that bad. The other strange thing with this that you don't see with a lot of revolvers is to eject the cylinder was up here. You pulled it forward, and then the cylinder would swing out. Now these had Pachmayr decelerator grips on them, which caught the recoil a little bit. And the recoil on these really isn't bad. .45 Colt is a cartridge. You really don't notice recoil on that much. It's a good sized cartridge, but it's not a heavy recoil cartridge. .410, yeah, if you get some heavy loads, some buckshot and all in this, it has a little bit of a kick to it, but it's really not bad. And this pistol is fairly heavy, and that probably absorbs a lot of it too. But definitely an oddity, and they quit making them in 1999 because nobody had any interest in a revolver that would shoot .410 and .45 Colt. That's something kind of blows my mind, because you look nowadays, that was the rage with the Taurus Judge, and I think Taurus has like 5 or 6 different models like that. Smith & Wesson has them. There's probably a couple other companies now that have come out with one. So in 1999, they quit production, and these just became a footnote until Taurus decided, hey, we'll try it again. And then, of course, everybody seemed to love the Judge. So we're going to go down to the range with this. I'll grab a couple 45 long Colt and some 410 shells, and we'll see what it does out on the range. So come join me.
We're out of the range. I've got the Thunder 5 with me, and I've got a mixture of some rounds. I've got 4 45 long Colt we're going to put in there. I've got one birdshot 410 and one of double-aught buck 410 that we're going to load in here. Actually, I think I miscounted because Thunder 5, this is a 5, not a 6 shot. So let's change that a little bit. We're going to do 3 45 long Colt. One birdshot and one buckshot. And keep this as a backup. Let me get my safety gear on. We got her loaded up. Let's see what it'll do. Okay, so 45 Colt. Very easy. Don't even notice you're shooting. Okay, now we've got the 410 loads in there. The first one is just a bird shot, so I'm just going to shoot that wild. I'm not going to aim at the target because it's just going to ricochet back, most likely, and that wouldn't be good. So 410, just kind of a wild shot here. Recoil is not really that bad. Now I've got double-aught buckshot in here. And again, recoil not really that bad, basically because it's such a heavy gun, you really don't notice the recoil whatsoever. That is the Thunder 5 from Mill Inc. And yeah, 45 long Colt, 410. It's not a Judge, but this is basically the idea that became the Judge. And this wasn't the first 410 45 handgun, it was just the first revolver, I believe, of it. The Derringers were out for years, and those you could shoot both in. Just an interesting looking gun. Definitely looks more like a flare gun than anything else, I think. But it's Matt with Midwest Guns and Gear. If you enjoy the videos, please consider giving us a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, sharing it with your friends. It's all appreciated, and it helps the channel grow. Also, always open for sponsorships as well. We were putting our email address in the videos, but YouTube is pulling videos down, claiming I'm doing that to sell firearms, which nothing is ever for sale. But I will have it in the description of the channel if you know, anybody's interested. Always looking for sponsorships. It's a new channel, so I figure I'd put that out there. Till next time, it's Matt with Midwest Guns and Gear. Have a great day.